Hi, welcome to Astro Babble. I am Donna. Lynda is out still, and hopefully we'll be back soon. But it was a very astrologically important time coming up, so I thought I'd jump on here really fast and get you guys up to date. Well, we'll go with the moon mansions first. This new moon is associated with the belly of Aries. It has the flavor of Mercury and Saturn, and this is from Christopher Warnock's book, The Mansions of the Moon. And in it, this particular moon mansion is good. It's the second moon mansion in tropical signs, and it is good for sovereign power, reconciliation, asking for a raise, and a favorable legal judgment. So if you have a legal matter, hopefully this is favoring you. And with the total solar eclipse, this is going to be happening at 19 degrees, 24 minutes of Aries. Lynda and I have always used the book Predictive Astrology by Bernadette Brady, The Eagle and the Lark. And when this Tarot series first started, the planetary arrangements were at that time were good for inventiveness. And this is what she wrote in her book. Inventiveness and flashes of genius are the hallmark of the Tarot series. The individual will have intuitive leaps, insights, good ideas, visions, or vivid dreams. This newfound inspiration will pull the person away from his or her social life or relationship, thereby causing strain in their private life. This is a time when the person needs to be free, if only for a few weeks. And as these come every 19 years, the last one we had in this was around 2006. So if you can remember back in 2006, what you're going through, this is probably going to be very close to it. And if you are an Aries rising, this new moon is going to be happening in your first house. The first house is all about yourself, things that will be changing and things that you will start new with yourself or about yourself or anything that has to do with just yourself. This is the house of the self. Chiron is right in there with this eclipse, as you can tell with it being so close. It is literally right on top of this eclipse. As you can tell, with this new moon, this is going to be happening in your first house, and it's got the North Node there. It's got Chiron there. So North Node is a lot of times can be viewed as paramount. All of these planets, we can see that here's Pluto on one side, and here's Uranus on the other side, and they're all bunching up. With this sun, it is at 19 degrees, and that is an exalted degrees. That is where it gives the planet strength, or for this particular thing, it's a luminary. Each planet or luminary has a particular, out of the 360 degrees that are around the dial, each planet has a specific degree where it is exalted, and the sun is exalted at this. So it has extra power because it is at its exaltation degree. The moon has some power as well, being that it is a supermoon. So people who are might experience higher coast tides happening. As I said before, the eclipse is also in there. So this is going to be, it has a lot to do with wounded healer. That's the nickname of Chiron. Very innovative type of mentality with that. He was the original teachers of Ford Medical. So that's what he's famous for. Also, there is up in here around that same, uh, you know, together, that conjunction that's happening at the time of the eclipse, we have Mars and Saturn that are going to be working together. And then we also have Jupiter and Uranus. So those are getting close to an exact conjunction. So that will definitely flavor, those two things will definitely flavor this particular eclipse. And an eclipse can last for up to 6 months. When you are viewing in the sky, make sure to wear safety glasses that are specifically registered for and safe for eclipse viewing, and you might be able to see a comet will also appear. It's the Pons Brooks might also be appearing in the sky with it. This is happening in your first house. So things that have to do with yourself, things that you are starting for just yourself. That's where this will show up, is in the first house. And if you are a Pisces rising, this new moon is going to be happening in your second house. The second house will have everything to do with new stuff that is happening around your finances or things you value. The second house is known for, with the North Node in this house, I would expect to see some kind of an increase, whether it's a salary increase or some kind of money increase. It would be a nice feature for this. This is going to be something that's going to be on the increase of things that you value. And if you are an Aquarius rising, you're going to be starting something new around your community, things that you are familiar with. This is the third house of, as well of, represents your family, your brothers, your sisters, even your extended family. You might be starting something new, getting together, a reunion that might happen 6 months from now if you are an Aquarius rising. If you are a Capricorn rising, this new moon is going to be happening in your fourth house. The fourth house is related to your lineage, your home, your family, could possibly even be your father. This is the house where you'll be starting something new with the North Node there. We're going to see an increase. We also have Chiron there. Something might need to be healed around your home or family issues. If you're a Sagittarius rising, this new moon is going to be happening, and the eclipse is going to be happening in your fifth house. This will be something that's maybe new started with children or anything that you might create. If you are a Scorpio rising, this is going to be happening in your sixth house. The sixth house is the house of service. It's also the things that we do on a daily basis. It could also be your house of illness. If something is cropping up and you get a pain or something, it might be something new that's starting. So get it checked out would be the advice if you are a Scorpio rising. If you are a Libra rising, this new moon is going to be happening in your seventh house. The seventh house is the house of the other, the one other, whether it's a romantic partner or a business partner. It could even be a doctor's type of arrangement where, if as long as they're committed to see you, this is where you'll be starting something new around those themes. And if you are a Virgo rising, this new moon is going to be happening in your eighth house. And the eighth house is the house of other people's money. This is the house of could be your spouses or significant others' finances as well. Could have to do with banks and loans, trusts, that type of thing. It's other people's money. With a new moon in there, it could be starting something that is going to have to do with other people's money. And if you are a Leo rising, Leo, for you guys, this is going to be happening in your ninth house. This is the house of higher education, esoteric subjects, publishing, law. It's that Jupiterian type of vision. It's the things that are more on the bigger picture type of view, even as well as outside travel, going to foreign places. This is also the house of foreigners. If you are a Cancer rising, this is going to be happening in your 10th house. And the 10th house as well, there is a benefic in there. There's Venus, and it is in there, and she's in there for everybody. But in your 10th house, you might be getting some kind of benefit around what you're known for or what your career is. If you are a Gemini rising, this is going to be happening in your 11th house. The 11th house are things that you start with groups. This is also the house of your hopes and dreams. So hopefully something will be starting with that if you are a Gemini rising. And if you are a Taurus rising, this will be something that you're starting behind the scenes. This is something that you're working on. This could also be hidden enemies. This is the house of the seclusion. It also is the house of, going away for some type of retreat. This is the house of escapism as well. You'll be starting something new with that if you are a Taurus rising. To share, I wanted to show you guys a stone. This is a very Aryan stone. Um, Not that it's actually an Aryan with a little bit of gentleness to it. This is called red calcite. It's a very gentle stone, as all the calcites are. And here is a block of red calcite. It's very shiny. And red calcite is most abundant in Mexico. Here's a couple of other pieces. It's most abundant in Mexico. It has soft root energy for the root. Your root chakra is what I'm most referring to. It has the element of fire and earth, and it goes with the first and the third chakra. So it kind of connects those first and third chakras. So if you are pregnant, this is a good stone to be working with. And in fact, I use this with my daughter, who just had a baby about a year ago. So that is red calcite, and I will be writing an article about it on the benefits of it. And moving on to our aspects, the first aspect we will have is going to occur just 2 days later. This is Saturn and Mars. Those are both of the malefic planets, the two malefics in the sky. In mundane astrology, when those planets get together, it signifies an important time. So how this is playing out, we have the moon right with Uranus. So I'm thinking something surprising. Anyways, when those two planets get together, this can be a time where it can give us kind of pre-warnings of things that might be happening on the malefic side, or very energetic and building. So I know we just had the bridge collapse just recently, and that might have a lot to do with it. Might be speeding up some kind of building. That would be on the positive aspect when you're working with Saturn and Mars. And the next aspect we have, the sun will conjunct Mercury. As Mercury is going backwards, it's in retrograde, as we call it. It's not actually going backwards. Lynda and I have done a video on this when Mercury goes backwards, and a retrograde video. Mercury gets to the sun, it's burnt up, it's called Kazemi, it has the ear of the sun. It does not have I think a lot of strength right now. I think it's better when it comes back around. It's more apt to, I think right now it's trying to solve the problems, and it's a good time to plan for the future. The next aspect that will come up will be Mercury will conjunct Venus. This is a time to maybe reschedule those social visits, reacquaint yourself with people that you have lost touch with. This is also a time where you can see the verbal or hear the verbal I love yous. This is, if you have a little one at home, this might be the time where you hear that. I really like this aspect. And then the next aspect will be the sun will move into Taurus. And this is a good time when spring starts and the sun moves into Taurus and everything starts to become in bloom. You might consider your values at top of your priority, as well as beautification around your home. This would be a good time to start those more tactile things of beautification. And the next aspect we're coming into is Mars will sextile Jupiter. And this is good for sports. It's good for athletics. It's good for working out. It's good for the big physical work that you might have to do. Painting your house, although this is not the time to be picking out the color today, you want to have done that already in advance. You don't want to do that when you're so close to Uranus. You could end up with an unusual result. And then the next aspect we're going to have is going to be Mars will sextile Uranus. And this is that, that surprising kind of uh, energy that I was talking about earlier, where you could experience new insights to solve problems. It's a good time to shake up your routine. Here comes the biggie. This next aspect is Jupiter will conjunct Uranus, and this is one of the major aspects of the year. It has a potential for new possibilities as well as ideas and insights. But this is when you have those two bigger planets getting together, it could have a major, major impact. And the next aspect we're going to have is going to be the sun will square Pluto. And this is time, where we're discarding the things that aren't working out of our lives. This is challenging. This is definitely a challenging aspect. But it's time to get rid of whatever is not working for you. This is a time where you could have breakdowns in structures and also watch out for power plays. And the next aspect we have will be the full moon in Scorpio. That's got some challenges. It looks like that the moon will be squaring Pluto up there. Not that this is necessarily the houses that it will fall in, especially, against your own natal chart. We have Pluto sextiling Neptune, Neptune sextiling Jupiter. This could be not very clear. A lot of hidden things, I'm thinking. Anyway, this is what we have for the next fortnight. That full moon's not going to have a lot of strength. So it would be good to keep an eye on the astrology and definitely into the news. Be sure to have your eclipse glasses if you're going to be looking at the sun or anywhere near the sun. Have a plan for whatever might be surprisingly coming up, such as food, water, your medications for 10 days. Get a list on FEMA. I'm sure they have a list. But everybody be safe. And I do work with crystals for layouts for energy healing. If you have a stress, if you have some kind of a stress, if you are going through a stressful point in your life, if you've had any kind of trauma in your life, if you are just wondering what's kind of going on and you're feeling a little sluggish, a layout very well might be your answer. I can't guarantee anything. These are old ways of what they used probably when I work with energy healing. What it's meant to do is to align your chakras. If your chakras are all in line, your body can itself figure out how to heal. I can't make any promises with this. There are no guarantees. It has helped a lot of people that I am aware of. I don't know of anybody who did not like the layout that I've ever given. So, please consider it, whether it's from me or someone else. I think it's a good way to keep your chakras in line. Your energy body is so important. Your physical body is there, but your energy body is what holds the traumas and the stresses and things that could make you ill. So that is why it's important to keep your chakras in line. I also do natal readings, electional readings, year ahead readings, as well as horary, and I am working with medical astrology. If you have a question, I can answer. And how the medical astrology works is how the ancient astrologers used to work through with the body on what kind and trying to help figure out what kind of things are going on inside the body. It is not meant to diagnose, it's not meant to treat. So keep those things in mind. If you are having a question like, is something wrong or is something not wrong? This might give some kind of answers. That's how the medical astrology works. So it was before all of the microscopes and big pharma came on scene. So that's what we used for over 2,000 years. And it's very beneficial, I think. If you are interested in a reading from me, Donna Barr Consulting at gmail.com is a good way to just write me to schedule a reading. And with that, I hope that everybody stays safe for this eclipse. Protect your eyes. Watch out for the comets. I don't think they're going to hit us. It's going to be all way by the sun by that time. And enjoy it. This is unusual times that we're all in, and very, very, very high astrologically activity. And hopefully we will get Lynda back soon. Let's wish her all our good thoughts. I am starting a YouTube channel. I think it's Donna B ACM. ACM stands for Advanced Crystal Master. So please check it out one time. Thank you.